Chapter 1. Network Marketing Blogging Basics. A synopsis: getting the attention of potential customers through the blogging tools is also effectively getting noticed by search engines like Google. Information about the business endeavor or service will be within the reach of masses at a moment's notice. The basics: this also facilitates the directing of traffic to the intended site because of the keywords used within the makeup of the blog. Building upon the material to be featured in the blog should be both informative and enticing enough to attract the attention needed to grow the network marketing business. As blogs generally post comments and ideas regarding specific products or services, this can be turned into an advantageous advertising tool. The more popular the blog, the better the level of exposure available for the intended business featured. Also tagged to blogs are other beneficial freebies elements like buttons, images, blog chalks, emojis, and a few others. Another feature the blogging tool offers is the element of transparency. This feature is very highly rated when it comes to building the trust factor for the business exposure. When the comments posted are of a positive nature, the advertising angle derived from the blog is unmatched. Creating a carefully edited signature is also essential to ensuring interested parties are able to stay in constant contact should the need arise. Providing information such as website URL and contact details should be clearly visible. Commenting on other blogs also helps to create the interest in one's own blog, as these comments will ideally encourage viewers to visit the other site for further information, because the initial comment of the guest blog was sufficiently enticing. Chapter 2. Determine what people are searching for in your market. A synopsis: knowing the types of potential visitors and what they are searching for through the blogs is instrumental in providing towards these needs. When addressing the issue of content and what is going to attract the prospector to the site, the blogger must first take the trouble to research the current popular contributors and their topics. What do they want? Having some idea of what the current online marketing tips and tricks is also another tool that can be used towards determining what interests the target audience. The landing page used is also important, and the design should be interesting and informative right from the beginning to ensure the interest of the viewer is successfully held. Being able to connect with the market audience by considering the needs and requirements are all keys to creating a successful landing page, which of course is the introductory phase of the journey. Most individuals' interest in a site is only in as far as how much their queries, interest, and solutions that can be addressed. Therefore, hard selling at the point would almost always produce negative results. Adequately addressing concerns of potential prospectors will instead work towards positively creating a relationship that will eventually evolve into complete participation and commitment. Focusing on this will generate the desired results at a much quicker pace. Staying as well informed as possible in the particular chosen niche will also help to create a platform where people will be more willing to focus on a particular site for the said information. They would consider the information posted is both authoritative as well as bankable. If the information featured is exclusive in nature or the first of its kind to be posted, the positive response would be even greater, as such information would be considered valuable to the interested viewer. Chapter 3. Make sure your topics is relevant to your business. A synopsis: when designing content for any of the tools to be featured on the internet marketing platform, keeping to topics relevant to the core business being projected is very important. People visiting the site will not be amused to find unrelated material being featured. However, there may be some isolated instances where this insertion could prove to be a positive variance, but this practice is certainly not encouraged. Be relevant. Creating content that is relevant to be feature for viewing is the reason people visit the site in the first place. Therefore, this said material should always be of high quality and as interesting as possible. The topics posted should ideally take on the following characteristics. The topics should in some way tie in with the business in terms of its makeup, economic standing, environmental concerns, social impacts, influence to its audience, and any other possible connective elements. Any new developments or data should also be one of the items regularly featured, as this would allow those visiting the site to be kept abreast with the most updated information. Presenting information derived from current or ongoing research programs, as well as any new introductory products or services, is also recommended. This is very important as it ties in with the point made on the latest developments, where the information presented is done with legitimate supporting documented evidence. Providing national and international public opinions and statistics on the use of the elements within the business being featured will also help to elevate the current positioning of the business and its exposure. Using other media tools to enhance the material being presented will also create the excitement for viewers, especially if the media tool being used is vibrant and current. The important point to always remember is to keep the content related to the business at all times. Chapter 4. Research the correct keywords to use. A synopsis, being able to effectively reach the target audience on the internet, is very important to the success and any endeavor pursued. Therefore, acknowledging that keywords play a pivotal role in this reach is necessary and unequivocal. Even if the material being presented is of optimum quality, if the relevant use of keywords is not generously included, then the exposure desired will be greatly compromised. Keywords. Search engines are instrumental in picking up on these keywords, and thus are the highest contributors in ensuring the material being posted is viewed by the large masses. Hence the need to choose and use as many relevant keywords as possible within the posted material. Here are some recommendations as to how to go about making informed choices. Conducting a comprehensive research exercise into the current and popular keywords being used by competitors should be the first course of action. This word list should then be compiled and consequently inserted into the material intended to be featured on one's own site. Besides this, compiling one's own word list, which has relevant connection to the material being posted, while all the time maintaining some similarities to the popular keywords already in use, will also help to further enhance site exposure. Getting outside opinions of keywords they would expect to be related to the topic at hand is also useful, as others may have a completely different yet beneficial perspective of what should be posted. This will then create the opportunity to include keywords that would otherwise not been thought of. Though using generalized terms will help to generate more traffic when compared to specifics, there is the danger of not being able to convert the visit to actual revenue because the search conducted using the keywords were not detailed nor tailor-made for the individual's original needs. Therefore, it may be prudent to use keywords that are a little more detailed, as this would allow for a more narrowed down and focused search. Chapter 5. Provide unique content. A synopsis. The reason any particular site is sought out is because of its content material that caters to the needs of the viewer. Therefore, it is very important to always provide content that is both unique and interesting as much as possible. This will effectively create the consistently continuous interest in revisiting the site often. This, in turn, will then generate the desired revenue intended at the onset of the endeavor. Make it unparalleled. The originality of the content for the website should always take priority when designing material to be posted. This will effectively keep the boring and uniform style contribution from becoming part of the content material makeup. Though this can often prove to be a serious challenge, taking the time and effort to source for new and innovative information will eventually bring about capitalized results. This is especially important if the material posted is specific for a niche market only. Personal opinions are often a good tool to use when trying to generate good material to be posted. However, it should be noted that such information should be presented with all the corresponding facts to support such an opinion stand. Failing to include this important feature will subsequently render the posted opinion uninteresting and incomplete, and worst, still bias in its context, as there is no documented evidence to support the opinions. Keeping tabs on the feedback received and then providing follow-up opinions on that will also help to successfully create the unique content angle for postings. Providing specials and discounts is also another unique material content to consider, especially if one is able to feature the best deals available. Visitors to the site will eagerly browse through the contents in order to be well informed of the best deals. Including reputable links will further enhance the browsing exercise, as the viewer will be able to further their information search effectively and timely. Chapter 6. Set up an opt-in form to build your list. A synopsis, utilizing tools that are readily available for internet marketing, is beneficial in many ways to any internet-based business or endeavor. The opt-in form tool is no different in its capacity to help build a strong and loyal viewing base. Simply trying to convince casual viewers to become subscribers will need more than just encouragement, thus providing or limiting the barriers that actually get them to the point of being committed viewers is important. Your list. Perhaps the most important point to note is to ensure the opt-in form is clearly visible to the visitor. When this is not clearly visible, the prompting is not encouraged or indicated, nor reminded, thus certainly resulting in a missed opportunity. Also, considering the screen resolution may prove to be an advantage, as the visitor may not have the form location well placed on their screen, thus not catching the attention easily. Using a simple inline form would also be a good option, as the newsletter button can sometimes prove to have adverse effects to the forms actually appearing. Keeping the opt-in forms as easy and short as possible is another important point to look into. The potential subscriber does not want to be bothered with lengthy forms that are both complicated to fill and annoying in its request for what may seem to masses unimportant or unrelated information. Also, the format chosen for the material that is going to function as the introductory enticing element should be done as clearly and to the point as possible. Using tools like bullets is recommended to point format the content. The simplicity of the designed opt-in form will also give the potential subscriber an idea of what to expect in terms of future content material to be viewed. Therefore, keeping it simple, attractive, and interesting should be the goal to optimize upon. Chapter 7. Assemble and use attention-grabbing autoresponder emails. A synopsis, using autoresponders for effective online marketing, is not only a wise decision to make, but also that can generate the desired percentage of converted sales for garnering revenues. This form of direct marketing to the subscriber base via the email communication tool is by far one of the best of creating the above scenario. Fortunes can easily be made with such a tool, and this is because most of the conveniently tap into other affiliates to further encourage interest. Emails. Below are some of the current ways the attention-grabbing autoresponder email tool helps to get visitors to become committed subscribers. The autoresponder tool ideally creates and facilitates the connection between the host and the browser or visitor, as it conveniently solicits the contact information through the opt-in forms. This is an ideal opportunity to immediately acquire the visitor's contact details without seeming pushy or chasing a sales pitch. Once the information is acquired, the next step would be to build a relationship with the subscriber by providing interesting, relevant, and current information pertaining to the corresponding interests of the viewer. Through the autoresponder tool, this is made easier and quicker. The autoresponder can also be designed to come with follow-up email campaigns. These campaigns, if well-timed and spaced out, will give the subscriber more interesting content material to look forward to. As these do not require monitoring in terms of sending time, it leaves the host free to attend to other issues, such as sourcing for more new and interesting material to feature. Generating fresh sales on the newer products being alerted through the autoresponder emails also create the confidence in the subscriber as to the value in being on the host's lists. They will be assured of being kept in the loop of any of the latest offerings at the best or most compatible prices, where they are assured of value for money circumstances. Chapter 8. Follow up with prospects. A synopsis. Maximizing returns is always at the forefront of any reason for the various choices made on the business platform. Therefore, following up with the prospects to ensure this maximizing element is optimized is considered a wise and essential course of action. Generating the desired presence and maximizing on this presence factor should ideally be done through follow-ups. Follow-through. The main idea of the follow-up exercise is to ensure continuous and effective contact is established for further potential business interests. Usually, when some interest is expressed by the prospects, the host should ideally deal with the request as quickly and as efficiently as possible. This will clearly show the attributes of professionalism and experience. Once the material requested has been forwarded, the follow-up to that should be delayed or discounted. Most people lose out when they don't make contact within a short period of time, as the impression given to the subscriber can be any one of the following: disinterest in the potential business liaison, or that the confidence levels of the host is not up to par, or even worse, the host considers the subscriber to be too small a customer. Hence the need to focus on using the follow-up tool wisely to dispel any of the above-mentioned fears. The subscriber may have many valid reasons as to why he or she did not respond favorably or immediately to the material being sent, and with a little prompting from the host, these issues can be sorted out to ensure a favorable option for both parties. Wrapping up, executing your business in a professional and organized fashion is also another way to impress the subscriber as to the commitment and capabilities of the host. It should effectively show or hint on the kind of care and service the host is capable of extending to the subscriber at any given time. Get started today in skyrocketing your business.